Hey guys, how's it going? If you're thinking of spending your hard-earned money on a game right now, you better reconsider, because today I bring you 12 incredible releases arriving later this year. So without further ado, let's start the list with Ghost of Yõtei, one of the most anticipated games of 2025, developed by Sucker Punch Productions, the same creators of Ghost of Tsushima, and published by Sony. It will be released exclusively for PlayStation 5 on October 2nd, 2025. You will control Atsu, a haunted ronin, masterless samurai, who adopts the persona of the Ghost. The main plot of Ghost of Yõtei revolves around the theme of vengeance of the oppressed. Atsu is on a personal and violent mission to hunt down her family's killers, known as the Six of Yõtei, who also almost killed her. With each mission, she seeks healing for a traumatic past, and the developers state that players will have more control over Atsu's narrative and choices compared to Ghost of Tsushima. You will be able to fight with a pair of katanas, odachi, kusarigama, and other new weapons, indicating that there will be various ways to approach combat and build your arsenal. Silent Hill F is a new survival horror game that is part of the legendary Silent Hill franchise. Unlike previous games, which were set in the town of Silent Hill in the USA, this title takes place in 1960s Japan. The protagonist is Hinako Shimizu, a high school student whose ordinary life is suddenly interrupted when a mysterious fog engulfs her hometown, transforming it into a terrifying nightmare. The city becomes desolate and filled with grotesque creatures. Hinako must navigate twisted paths, solve complex puzzles, and fight to survive. The game explores the concept of finding terror in beauty, suggesting that something extremely beautiful and perfect can become profoundly disturbing. The puzzles are described as rooted in psychological anguish and suffering, and are connected to the story and elements of Japanese culture, such as scarecrows.
Hinako, どこにいるの? Hinakoはいいよね。何でも持ってる。そんなあんたがいなくなってくれるんだからせいせいする。一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。ずっと一緒だよって約束したよね。暗いのは嫌。一人ぼっちは嫌。
Digimon Story Time Stranger is the upcoming game in the popular Digimon Story series, promising a new RPG-focused adventure with monster raising and battling elements. You take on the role of an agent of a secret organization in Tokyo, Japan. After a cataclysmic event, you find yourself 8 years in the past. Your mission is to unravel the mystery behind the world's collapse, traveling between the human world and the digital world, known as Iliad. Encounters with unique characters and the exploration of multiple worlds and timelines will be crucial to altering fate. The game maintains the essence of the Digimon story series, where you will collect, train, and digivolve a vast array of Digimon. Expect a dynamic and tactical turn-based combat system with evolved elements for battles. The game promises over 450 Digimon for you to collect and use, making it the largest roster in the Digimon story series to date. Customization options are deep, offering countless approaches to battle challenges.
The world tree has been attacked. It is just as the great one, Plutomon, said.
It can't protect anyone.
We must protect the world from them. For this purpose and this purpose alone were you born.
If that thing opens, then we'll be swarmed by Digimon.
Attack!
Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Everything's riding on
to
you.
move forward into the future.
We must fulfill our mission. Agent.
Final Fantasy Tactics. The Ivalice Chronicles is a highly anticipated release that will bring back the acclaimed original 1997 tactical RPG to modern platforms. It is not an entirely new game, but rather a remaster that includes two distinct versions to cater to both longtime fans and newcomers. The graphics have been revamped to look excellent on HD screens, with vibrant 3D battlefields and detailed pixel art. The interface has been completely overhauled to be more accessible and intuitive, making it easier to control units and view turn order. There will be additional event scenes to deepen the story and character relationships. Players can learn skills from different jobs and equip them in various slots: command, reaction, movement abilities, allowing for extensive customization. Sword of the Sea is the newest title from Giant Squid Studio, known for acclaimed games like Abzu and The Pathless, and features art direction by Matt Nava, who also worked on Journey. The game is scheduled to be released on August 19, 2025, for PlayStation 5, including the PS Plus Extra and Deluxe catalog at launch, and PC via Steam and Epic Games Store. You take on the role of the Wraith, a resurrected entity in a desolate necropolis with the mission to restore the ancient ocean buried beneath the land. The narrative is told atmospherically, mainly through colors, light, music, and minimal dialogue, focusing on a journey of self-discovery. The core gameplay revolves around surfing, but not on water. You will use a hover sword, a type of floating board, to glide through surreal and undulating landscapes, which can be made of sand, lava, ice, and other biomes. The movement is inspired by snowboard and skateboarding games, allowing for tricks, jumps, and building momentum to achieve high speeds. The game promises a balance between action and fluid meditative movement. Hirogami is a 3D action platformer game developed by Bandai Namco Studios Singapore in partnership with Kakahashi Games. Inspired by the Japanese art of origami, the game promises a visually unique experience and creative gameplay, combining platforming, puzzle, and action elements. Hirogami features a visually stunning world inspired by origami art, where everything is made of paper, highlighting the fragility and beauty of this material. The player assumes the role of Hiro, a master of origami art who uses a fan as his main tool. The narrative follows Hiro on a mystical journey to save the fragile world of Shishiki Village from digital invaders known as Blight, who threaten the natural balance of the environment. The story is described as full of intriguing mysteries, with a plot that combines elements of fantasy and mythology. Hiro confronts the digital invaders using his origami transformations and abilities. Combat is dynamic, combining action with strategy. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a new game in the acclaimed Ninja Gaiden franchise, developed by The Game Kitchen, creators of the Blasphemous series, and published by Dotemu, known for Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Unlike the series' 3D titles, Ragebound returns to its 2D roots, offering a side-scrolling platform experience with the franchise's characteristic frantic action. The story takes place shortly after the initial events of the original Ninja Gaiden for Super Nintendo. Ryu Hayabusa sets out to avenge his father, leaving Hayabusa village vulnerable. Kenji Mozu, a young ninja from the village, must defend his home from a demonic invasion that arises after the breaking of the barrier between the human and demon worlds. The narrative involves Kenji and Kumori, a kunoichi from the Black Spider clan, who team up against a greater threat. The game combines the classic gameplay of older titles with modern elements. Frantic action and challenges will demand precision and skill from players. Features like ninja fusion to unleash devastating abilities are also present. The game will include collectibles, secret missions, and optional challenges. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a highly anticipated remake of the original 2004 game, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. This new release promises to update the classic experience with modern graphics and gameplay enhancements, while maintaining fidelity to the original story and mechanics. The game is set during the Cold War, focusing on the origin story of the iconic agent Snake, Big Boss. He becomes involved in a dangerous and complex mission, full of political and technological intrigue, with rival nations developing weapons that threaten humanity. The plot is known for its narrative depth and surprising twists. The game maintains the characteristic stealth gameplay of the Metal Gear Solid series, with an emphasis on infiltration, evasion, and strategic combat. Players will control Snake as he navigates various environments, from tropical forests to industrial facilities, using a variety of weapons, gadgets, and hand-to-hand combat skills. The experience is enhanced with updated graphics and immersive sounds, promising even greater immersion in the world of Metal Gear. Borderlands 4 is the next game in the popular shooter and RPG franchise, known for its cartoonish visual style and chaotic gameplay filled with millions of guns and irreverent humor. The development of Borderlands 4 has been underway for about 6 years, as revealed by Randy Varnell, Gearbox's creative director. The developer described the game's world as seamless, with the promise of no loading screens as players explore new areas. You will take on the role of one of 4 new Vault Hunters and must lead the resistance against a ruthless dictator called the Timekeeper and his army of synthetic followers, the Order, on the planet Kairos. The gameplay continues to be a chaotic looter shooter, focused on collecting countless weapons, confronting deadly enemies, and intense cooperative action.
Be advised, a citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, is the eagerly awaited sequel to the acclaimed Death Stranding, developed by Kojima Productions and published by Sony for PlayStation 5. Directed and written by Hideo Kojima, the game promises an open-world action-adventure experience with a complex and engaging science fiction narrative. It is scheduled for release on June 26, 2025. Combat will have a greater focus compared to the first game. Players will have a wider arsenal of weapons, assault rifles, snipers, rocket launchers, and more freedom to approach enemy encounters, whether through direct combat, stealth tactics, or avoiding them entirely. There will be a skill tree divided into categories such as combat, stealth, and services ship, delivery skills. Natural disasters such as earthquakes, flash floods, and sandstorms will affect the landscape, forcing players to find alternative routes. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is an anticipated release that brings together the first two games of the legendary Dragon Quest series, recreated with Square Enix's HD 2D visual style. This style combines 2D pixelated graphics with 3D environments and effects, creating a retro-modern aesthetic. The remake's graphics are considered an evolution from Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, with more detailed pixelated character models and a more sophisticated look. The color palette and saturation resemble 8-bit classics, making the sprite art stand out. The gameplay maintains the essence of the series' classic RPGs, but with updates and content additions for a more modern experience. The game includes both titles, Dragon Quest I and Dragon Quest II, in a single package. Although the original games were considered shorter than modern RPGs, around 10 and 16 hours of gameplay respectively, the remake adds content and cutscenes to extend the experience. Players who have saved data from Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake on the same account will receive exclusive bonus items in both games. Mafia: The Old Country is the next game in the acclaimed Mafia franchise, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. This title focuses on the origin of organized crime in early 20th century Sicily, offering a linear and immersive third-person narrative experience. Unlike previous titles in the series, which featured extensive open worlds, The Old Country prioritizes a deep and focused story. The player assumes the role of Enzo Favara, who struggles to survive and prove himself within the Cosa Nostra. Gameplay involves action, adventure, and exploration of cinematic environments that faithfully recreate Sicily of the era. The game features authentic vehicles from the period, such as automobiles and horses for locomotion. Classic weapons, such as the Switchblade and the Lupara shotgun, are also part of the experience. The game uses Unreal Engine 5, promising a higher level of visual fidelity than previous titles in the series. Mafia: The Old Country promises an authentic and immersive experience in the world of the Sicilian Mafia, combining an engaging narrative with high-quality graphics and gameplay true to the historical period.
You again.